You don't find it weird that she passed away 3 months after talking about how dark Hollywood is? 3 months ago, she was speaking out about how someone in the industry that she trusted, who was high up, invited her to a party on a yacht. Well, she gets to this party and she gets taken downstairs. Turns out they wanted her to sleep with a very famous Hollywood actor. That's all she said about it. She did everything she could to hide on that boat so she didn't have to participate. And then what, 3 months later after saying this, she's deceased? Does that not sound even a little bit weird to anybody? But this is going to be another story that people talk about for a couple of days and then it just disappears and her story will be forgotten. But that's what's going to happen. There's not going to be an investigation. We're not going to get to the bottom of it. It's just unfortunately another sad Hollywood story that there's probably more to, something darker that we're not going to find the answers to. As always, thank you for watching and stay weird. You don't find...
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, we're going to have a very serious conversation. And it's about something that's bigger than Hollywood. What we're going to talk about is about power. We're going to talk about what happens to young women within the industry. We're going to talk about how they get controlled chasing certain opportunities. And they're controlled by people who are older, richer, more connected, more experienced, and sometimes willing to exploit the very people they claim to be helping. We're going to talk about the dark side of the industry, as well as social media too. And the rabbit hole goes deep, ladies and gentlemen. There is definitely a pattern going on. And I do want to talk about a few situations that's taking place right now. And we're going to talk about Beyonce, who was recently exposed for sitting in the lap of an executive. And she looked to be very vulnerable in the situation. And she was pretty young at the time. We got to talk about that. Of course, we got to talk about this actress who just mysteriously died. And I did my research on her and there's some things that I want to bring out. And y'all know we like to do a thorough job over here. But we're going to be talking about her. Her name is Hayden. We're going to be talking about Hayden Panettiere, who just died at 36. And there's a lot of numerology around her life and death. And, you're going to get to hear from some of the Gematria brothers. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to also talk about Woo Lady, who's a viral Atlanta internet sensation who is in some hot water for allegedly, soft trafficking other women. And just like the Hayden story that she gave out on that podcast, sometimes it's the women that's behind the trafficking, ladies and gentlemen. And this is not a theory here. When you think of Epstein, it wouldn't be no Epstein without a Ghislaine Maxwell. So sometimes these women be madams, and sometimes ladies put their trust in these women who are also predatory. And we're going to uncover that. But this is going to be very informative and detailed. We're going to get into the nitty gritty. Y'all know how we give it up. We give you nothing but the truth. So as you enter the broadcast, ladies and gentlemen, get the likes up. With no further ado, let's get to it. Nubreed.
They working against us. They hate our souls. They hate us. They hate our righteous indignation. They hate the exaltation that dwells in us. They hate our love for the They hate our conviction. They hate the fact that we repented. They hate the fact that we truthful, honest, and bold. They hate our courage. Them devils hate us. We're not finna line ourselves up with these weirdos and freaks. With these weirdos and freaks. They working against us. They hate our souls. Weirdos and freaks. But these weirdos and freaks, they working against us. They hate our souls. Nubreed.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Hold on, what's going on here? Peace and blessings, everybody. Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. Ooh. So we're talking about the dark side of Hollywood. We're going to be starting off with Hayden Panettiere and some of the things she exposed. But first and foremost, let me greet you all, the good people. I see Wanda Austin in the building. Mika Love, what's going on? Danielle Latson, it's good to have you. Iris 21. Yes, Leslie Friez. I see y'all, Gladiator. Good to have y'all. Y'all make sure y'all get the likes up. I want you to stay nothing short of interactive. We're going to be diving in, y'all. We're going to be diving in. You know, I always try to do my investigations and be thorough as I can about it. The sudden death of Hayden Panettiere is really starting a firestorm in the media. You know, the timing of it all, as of today, August 18th, authorities have not established any type of foul play. And, you know, the irony of that, they never find any foul play. But I want to go over what was said in her interviews. I want to dive right in, and I'm gonna tell you with some of the things that I researched and studied about what goes on in these cabals as well as these trafficking rings. I gotta walk on eggshells a little bit with this broadcast, but ladies and gentlemen, the Bible tells us to be wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove. So it's gonna be managed well, but you're gonna get the info. So I want you all to make sure y'all stay connected in the chat. All right, let's get to it.
I find it weird that she.
Let's get on to it. We talking. Here we go.
Also, what I want to say is when you were talking about your actually the character that I play, Cheryl, she died at 35 of heart failure. And when we heard that, we were just like shocked. Me and my mom saying we were going,
Yeah, I can imagine.
really sad.
In real life, you think he'd be a good dad?
Yeah.
Think so?
That video with Hayden Panettiere was very
strange, allegedly. This is what people are saying. I'm not sure who that guy was. He looks familiar. Shh, shut up!
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to understand that blood sacrifices do exist in the industry. And more often than not, these actors and actresses, particularly the ones who are born into the industry, they have a complete script for their lives. There's a complete script, and that script is carried out, and it's already predestined and preordained and predetermined how their life would end. And I would not doubt for a second that she was deeply rooted in the industry. I've seen her I've seen Hayden throwing up the Illuminati signs, covering one eye. I've seen her doing all of that. So let's be clear. We're going to dive deep. We're going to dive deep with this, right? Normally, they'll be a part of the industry, but they will be sold off, and this is all alleged, by the families. And they will be molded to participate in things that are just, completely repulsive. Right? So that this thing here has a lot of layers to it. Now, I want you to hear what she said recently before passing away.
I was 18, even though I'd lived such a huge life and I thought I was so mature at 18, scientifically, her frontal lobes don't develop until we're 26, 25, 26. So even though I felt like I could make healthy decisions, safe decisions, I wasn't capable of being fully aware of what was going on around me. And it wasn't until I found myself in predicaments that I realized, my perspective completely shifted, and I realized that I was in danger. But by the time I'd realized I was in danger, I was quite literally out to sea. And it was that moment shook me and was shocking. And I was quite literally walked down, and I had been having a great time. There was no hints of anything like that happening. So it took me, I was shocked. It took me by surprise. And it was led by somebody that I had grown to trust and see as a protector and somebody who had my back. And to be walked down the stairs, and it was as like a surprise, presented as though it was like a surprise. And it was this very small room, and she physically put me in the bed next to this undressed man who was very famous and had his hands like this, like this was just, an average day for him. This is something that happens all the time. And I waited for her to leave. And I mean, that lion in me, that fire in me, that my hair stood on end, and I became ferocious. I was like, this is not happening. But I had nowhere to hide. And I bolted, and I hid wherever I could think of to hide on a boat. There was no jumping off and swimming away, and there was nobody who was going to. I realized that there was nobody who was going to be empathetic to my situation, that this was nothing new to them.
I mean, it's such a horrifying event to go through. And to be put in that position at 18 years old.
And disappointing when somebody lets you down like that. And I'd been let down so much before, and that when you really find somebody that you trust, like, you hold on to them for dear life, and you feel so. I was 18, even though I'd lived such a huge life, and I thought I was so mature at 18.
Wow. So The question is, why, after this woman exposed that, just 3 months later, she dies of heart failure? Now, mind you, and that's what they're saying, heart failure. None of us believe that. And did she expose too much? Now, she has a book that's coming out. She has a book. The names have been pretty much changed. But we're seeing a pattern here where when these women or anybody start exposing the darkness in the industry, they get sacrificed. You got to think about it. Why did a woman who had just publicly described an alleged trafficking experience involving, now peep this, an unknown powerful man, and then she dies suddenly, right as her book comes out, at 36 years old? Nah, I'm telling you right now, we're going to need some phone records. We're going to need some timelines. We're going to need some witness interviews. We're going to need reconstructions of her final days. We're going to need more answers because none of this is adding up. None of this is adding up. Now, I want y'all to peep something.
I'm no conspiracy theorist, but the death of Hayden Panettiere from a heart attack at the age of 36 just has me asking a lot of questions, especially after I saw this clip from Jay Shetty's podcast that was filmed just 3 months ago, where she discusses a forced sexual encounter on a boat with a very famous celebrity when she was 18.
I realized that I was in danger, but by the time I'd realized I was in danger, I was quite literally out to sea. I had been having a great time. There was no hints of anything like that happening. So it took me, I was shocked. It took me by surprise. And it was led by somebody that I had grown to trust and see as a protector and somebody who had my back. And to be walked down the stairs, and it was as like a surprise, presented as though it was like a surprise. And it was this very small room, and she physically put me in the bed next to this undressed man who was very famous and had his hands like this, like this was just, an average day for him. This is something that happens all the time. And I waited for her to leave. And I mean, that lion in me, that fire.
Man, the industry is a very dangerous place. I know a lot of you all, well, not even a lot of you all, some of you ladies out there, you want to be the it girl. You want to have fame and fortune. You want to be the next pop star. You got to ask yourself, is it worth it? Is it actually worth it? Is it actually worth it? Because I could tell you right now, we've seen this pattern way too many times. Way too many times. Hold on one moment, y'all. Let me go ahead and play this.
Fire in me that my hair stood on end, and I became ferocious. I was like, this is not happening. But I had nowhere to hide, and I bolted, and I hid wherever I could think of to hide on a boat.
Now, she also wrote a book where she talked about this incident, and I don't think she named any names, and she didn't name any names in that clip. But just 3 months after that recording, she's found dead of a heart attack, or as TMZ's reporting, an overdose.
For 1 minute 29 responding.
Overdose. CPR is in progress.
I mean, come on. Am I the only one that thinks this is weird? I'm no conspiracy theorist.
They always go from an overdose. It never fails. I'm telling you, in this industry, young women, they enter And people are controlling all the opportunities, and they're getting exploited in many, many ways. There's some of the most beautiful women out there that are being treated like straight trash. And I'm talking about some blink twice type of stuff be going on. And, you know, I don't want to be broad with this. I want to get into some details about some of the things that's actually been confirmed in Hollywood. You know, I'm not here to tell you that every celebrity story you see on social media is evidence of trafficking. You know, I'm not here to tell you that every strange photograph, every video is proof of a secret operation, but I'm going to lock in. And this is the reason why this channel is the home of Truth Maxing, because we're going to talk about what we can prove. They can no longer slap the conspiracy theory label on us. You know, with this Hayden situation, we can clearly see that this is bizarre. This 36-year-old young woman, it is hard to believe she died of heart failure or an overdose, when we never heard of any history of her being on any type of medication or any addiction whatsoever. There's no record of that. There's no record of that. And, you know, I'm not here to convict anybody based on internet theories. I'm here to get to the bottom line. How many warning signs have we normalized involving people who are famous before their lives get stripped away? Now, we've seen Beyonce, man, I'm telling you, Beyonce is on the docket for the night as well, because apparently she got caught in an awkward position, and I'm not sure why this video is just being released, but peep this.
This reminded me of the video the Daily News just released of Beyonce. In that video, Beyonce is seen sitting on top of a music industry executive's lap to discuss a feature of Michael Jackson.
All right, here we go. Come on over here. Here, you want to sit on? You want to make this easier? You can sit on my lap. Michael.
Now, first of all, let's get the context of this. In order for her to get a feature with Michael Jackson, there has to be a phone call made, right? There has to be a phone call made. And what we're seeing is this phone call being made where she's literally sitting on the executive's lap. Now, is that appropriate? Is that something that's normalized in the industry? The first answer would be no, it's not appropriate. The second answer is yes, this would be something that would be normalized. And I know people see Beyonce, they look at the beehive, they see the empowerment she have. But however, do you know what she had to do to get where she's at? Do you know what Beyonce had to do to get where she's at?
Hi. Okay, all right, we're in the studio, and I have Beyonce sitting on my lap, and I'm gonna put you on speakerphone.
Oh God, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm gonna put you on speakerphone to talk to her, and Okay, you're shaking. Okay, you ready? Okay, hold on.
Oh no, I'm gonna pass out.
Michael.
Yes, Mark.
Here we go. I have Beyonce here.
Hi.
Hi, Beyonce.
How you doing?
Well, good. I really appreciate you doing this because we're giving back.
I'm very honored. I can't believe I'm doing this.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.
But thank you. Brad Buxer is putting down the track now.
Right here, Michael.
Brad,
Yes.
you're putting down the track now.
Yep.
Yeah, Beyonce's gonna go in the studio and lay it down now, and you're gonna give her inspiration.
Michael, when she was listening to the track, she fell in love with it immediately.
Yes, I did. I love it.
You did?
Yeah,
Yes.
immediately, Michael.
It's wonderful.
She lit up, immediately from the very first line of the first verse.
But please don't, Beyonce. My voice.
Your voice sounds great.
You sound...
He was getting over the flu when we recorded this.
You know, the flu, I had the
And
flu.
This is only his demo track for
That's how his voice sounds when when he has the flu.
Well, it sounds wonderful. And the first line, I screamed. Literally, I screamed.
And Michael, she's, these guys can sing. I mean, she's going to nail this. This is great. So we're happening. The vibe couldn't be any better.
Let's get going then.
All right, let's get going.
Love you, Michael.
I love you too.
All right,
Bye.
talk to you later, Michael.
Love you.
Love you.
Thank
And I believe Michael Jackson, he knows what Beyonce had to endure to even have that feature. He knows what she had to do to get that opportunity, to get that door open. Man, the industry is dark, man. There's certain doors that you can go through. And I'm pretty sure Michael Jackson is very aware as a child star, and Beyonce also being a child star. So you can hear the perversion in that executive's voice. You can see what's going on. This is equivalent to the casting couch, allegedly. But these perverted animals, you know, why would she need to sit on his lap to clear a record? Because basically that's what this conversation is about. You know, in the industry, it's not like you could just make a call. Beyonce can call Michael Jackson. No, executives are in between the business. The executives are the high-ranking producers, the handlers are in between it, between the business deals. Because if it's a big record and it's going to give you a level up, it's going to go a certain way. So, by the way, this footage that Beyonce has seen, it was in the early 2000s, and it is Mark Scaffell. That's whose lap she's sitting in. She's in the lap of Mark Scaffell. And this footage is pretty uncomfortable to watch, especially from a modern lens, you know. And let's be intellectually honest about this, ladies and gentlemen. The footage is not proven trafficking, but it does point to exploitation. You know, it doesn't really establish a hidden operation, to be clear, but it looks wrong. You know what I mean? It looks wrong. It for those who have discernment, we know, 101s know what's going on. Without being sensational, just looking at this, there's something very wrong about it, right? There's something very wrong about it. And we know how the industry get down. The industry has always been a place where things happen that's strange. Example.
The Playboy Mansion was a human trafficking hub with underground tunnels. This is why I tell y'all, there are billions of Jeffrey Epsteins. Hugh Hefner was another Epstein. He was a precursor of Epstein. They escorted babies, bro. The Playboy Mansion was a CIA and Mossad institution. This motherfucker had underground tunnels in his mansion.
Now, let me clarify this. Hugh Hefner did have underground tunnels that was connected to other actors and actresses' houses. Now, we don't find that suspicious. The question is, do you still want to be a part of the industry? Do you still want to be a pop star? Because young women entering entertainment spaces, they're going to find themselves entering with older, powerful industry figures in an environment where everything becomes, boundaries are blurred. You know, we talking about dope, cokehead, middle-aged perverts, bro. They don't have no boundaries. And you want your record played. We talking about real weirdos and creeps with no kind of game whatsoever, but they got what they got because of their power and influence. And they believe everything in the world is owed to them, including a person's life in all perpetuity. Yeah, I mean, I would not doubt at all that, you know, Beyonce was out here freaking off to all the record executives. I believe Beyonce, Rihanna, Nicki Minaj, every last one of them, I feel like they've been, I mean, how can I just put it? They've been used, like on some eyes wide shut type of situations and scenarios, on some blink twice scenarios. Some on some blink twice, some on some eyes wide shut. They're going to do whatever for that check. They're going to do whatever to get put on. And it's pretty much they're losing their souls. And I'm going to say this. You know, when you look at Hayden's death, the way she passed, 9 times out of 10, she knew more than what we think she knew. Because you don't make it to where Hayden made it without knowing what's going on in the ins and outs.
That led to other mansions. Look at this shit. They had underground tunnels that led to other mansions. Look at the layout for this shit, bro. Look at the fucking layout for this shit. Look at the tunnels. Look at the design for this shit. Look at the fucking design for all this shit. In this photo, you can see Hugh Hefner with his then gal pal, Barbie Brenton, and a little boy dressed like a girl.
Man, I can't play this because of the music. I just realized that the music that's playing is copywritten. Goodness gracious. So we're going to go over that. But this is the truth. The mansion is connected to different houses. Why would they have that in Hollywood? Why would they have that? Why would the Hugh Hefner mansion be so publicized? Telling you.
Isn't it weird that every time somebody blows a whistle on Hollywood, they mysteriously die? Now, if you haven't heard by now, Hayden Panettiere passes away at 36, and there's a string of things that we should be looking at. I mean, this absolutely means nothing. The fact that H and P are the 8th and 16th letters, she dies on 8/16, and she exposes Hollywood on Jay Shetty's podcast. And yes, that episode was 8/16, but again, absolutely means nothing. But here's where it gets interesting. She just released a book called This Is Me, A Reckoning, where she starts to expose a bunch of things that go on in Hollywood, including a trip on a yacht in the south of France, where she talks about getting pretty much soft trafficked. Now, in this book, she states where a very weird encounter happens on a super yacht in the south of France, and she was with a friend, a very close friend that was like a bigger sister, a protector, and she gave her the pseudonym Stella McAmis. And the story goes that Stella led her down a narrow hallway into a private cabin where Hayden discovers a 30-something-year-old British singer-songwriter shirtless in the bed. And a lot of people are trying to figure out who this mysterious woman is. She said that she was semi-famous. And then right off the bat, when she releases that book, Diana Jenkins denies that she was the woman that Hayden was talking about. And when this happened, this was pre-Beverly Hills Housewives, and then she later on goes on to be a housewife and whatnot. But here's the thing. Back in 2009, Diana releases this book called Room 23, which is super intimate and very provocative. It's like a fictional story with celebrities and has naked people in there, all kind of weird shit. Now, again, weird, but we can't point the fingers. It's kind of like an Epstein lookbook, but we'll put that aside. But what is weird is that she also donated $1 million to the Clinton Foundation. Interesting. But here's the weirdest part. Diana is actually her middle name.
Oh, we got to look into her. She donated millions to the Clinton Foundation. Let me tell you something. Hillary and Bill Clinton are some of the most wicked people in the world, ladies and gentlemen. I'm talking about, we actually got some sources on them just by chance. And look, this lady jumped out of nowhere saying that she had nothing to do with it. You know how these people do when they're guilty, trying to control a narrative. So obviously Hayden had some people afraid of the information. She had some people afraid. I believe they wiped her out. I believe that they blood sacrificed Hayden, and they did it using numerology. They did it at a certain time. Of course, that's just my personal thoughts, but let's continue.
Her first name is Sinella. Sinella, Stella, rhymes with grape. Now, we can't jump to any conclusions because Hayden did have a history of substance abuse. She talks about it all the time. And also they found Narcan at the scene, which is a nasal spray to revive you if you have an overdose. So was this a factor? Did she really have cardiac arrest? We don't know. Make sure you guys go to my YouTube, The Maverick Approach. I'm doing a bigger breakdown, and let me know what you guys think down below.
Yeah, I believe they took her out. They wiped her out. And listen, it is getting real wicked around this time of the year. We go through this every other year, right around where it's fall season coming in. That's when the rituals start. That's when the sacrifices start. And it gets real bizarre in Hollywood. And they say she died at 251. I mean, it's a lot of numerology. You got 666 all written all over her death. It's written all over it. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, the industry is foul, and there's a lot of wicked things going on. And I believe people like Hayden, that's pretty much born in the industry, they don't quite know their position, but everything is already sequenced for them.
They know that they're born into it. Sometimes they don't know, and they don't find out until they're like 30 years old, and they be trying to figure out why all this shit was happening for them, just like the movie Him. The reason is because you were born into the shit. Your life was already written before you even got here, my nigga. That shit was already written. When you came out the womb, and let's say you was Michael Jackson's son, his actual son. Don't get me started on that. But let's say you were actually Michael Jackson's son. By the time you got out the womb, bro, you had X, Y, and Z to do. This is what you're going to do. We don't care if you don't want to do it. This is what you're going to do because this is the type of power that you hold within your soul. This is the type of power that you hold within your soul. So this is what we're going to make you do, regardless of if you want to or not. And if you don't like it, we're going to kill you.
And honestly, I believe that's how it works in the industry, because it's a high level of nepotism that goes on within the industry. And they say Hayden was born in August as well. And there's a high level of just nepotism, and they go through the bloodline because they know the spirit is in the blood. So these actresses and actors will literally have a script for their life, even if it requires them being sacrificed at a certain age. Like imagine being born into something that you can't quite see. And that's why there was a good example of him giving the movie Him. Him thought he just had to work to become the best ever. But really he was being groomed, positioned, things that were happening around him was street theater to a degree. It was being manipulated to actually create his story. And then you have to live it out. When you're born into the industry, that's how it is. That's why I say a lot of them come from a lot of people in the industry come from ancient bloodlines. That's why you'll see somebody that looked like Jay-Z that was famous damn 200 years ago. You'll see somebody who looked like Nicolas Cage 200 years ago who was a president or something. And it's because they're designated to be public figures. Their death is all numerology. And I know it sounds like what I'm saying is like crazy a little bit, and I get it, but it's scripted. It's all scripted. Yes, it's the theme of the Truman Show is really how these people got to live, for real. No doubt about that.
And also, when you get to these type of levels, when they hit you with these four things, sacrificing, the human trafficking, they know that they're born into it. Sometimes they don't know and they don't find out.
Yeah, this is real talk. This is real talk, how it goes down. And in their industry, man, they really have to do a lot of things that they really don't want to do, but they're forced into it.
Hollywood is not the fairy tale place that you think it is. And now people are starting to see. Matter of fact, look at this shit. Mind you, this is a 19-year-old Beyonce.
You want to sit on? You want to make this easier? You can sit on my lap.
Why would this grown man ask her to sit on his lap?
Michael? Hi. Okay, okay. All right, we're in the studio, and I have Beyonce sitting on my lap. And I'm gonna put you on speakerphone.
Nah, man.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm gonna put you on speakerphone to talk to her, and okay. You're shaking. Okay, you ready?
Now, some would say that Beyonce is just shaking because she's about to meet Michael Jackson over the phone. Beyonce been famous since a child, ladies and gentlemen. I personally don't believe that's why she was shaking and nervous. I believe Beyonce knew what came next. She knew what getting a feature like that meant. Tracy Henry, thank you for the support. I appreciate it. She says, bringing out the fire content that others can't touch. All praises to the Most High. I'm glad that the utterance is coming through from on high, and that y'all being edified. Yeah, because Beyonce knew what comes. She know what comes with being on a feature with Michael Jackson. She knows. I mean, that's how the industry is. And if you listen to Michael Jackson's tone, he tells her, we're doing this to help people. Now, y'all heard Michael said that. Michael said, we're doing this to help people. So what is that supposed to mean? Michael is trying to say, listen, what you're about to do, putting out music, you know, we're entertaining people, we're helping, you know, Michael got this save the world mentality. But listen to it.
Okay, hold on.
Listen.
Michael?
Yes, Mark.
Here we go. I have Beyonce here.
Hi.
Hi, Beyonce.
How you doing?
Oh, good. I really appreciate you doing this because we're giving back.
Because we're giving back. We're giving back. That's what he said. We're giving back. I'm glad that you're doing this, Beyonce, because we're giving back. What is the sacrifice that she has to make to these executives? What is she giving back? I mean, what does she have to sacrifice? And why does Michael have to, you know, thank Beyonce? Why does these record executives have to be in the middle of this? It ain't like, you know, we could just, why couldn't they just make a phone call and get the song popping? Why does Michael have to thank Beyonce? Hey, we're giving back. We're doing a good work. Telling you, man, that industry is creepy, man. We seen what happened to Justin Bieber. We seen what happened to Usher. The list goes on and on and on and on. The list goes on and on, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm very honored. I can't believe I'm doing this.
And this is why I always say you have to protect your children.
I'm very honored. I can't believe I'm doing what? I can't believe I'm doing what? She honored to be doing a song with Michael Jackson. She can't believe she's doing a song? Come on now. Come on, y'all. We know what if you got any discernment, y'all know what's going on here. Y'all know what's going on here. Yeah, it's some initiations that take place in this industry, man. Real talk.
Children at all costs. No slight to Beyonce, no slight to Beyonce's family. The question that needs to be asked is, why did he ask her to sit on his lap? Why did he think that she would feel comfortable sitting on his lap? I saw the same video on TMZ, and TMZ cut out the part where he asked her to sit on his lap. Again, you can see the innocence in Beyonce. She was just happy to be there. She was just happy to be singing. She was just happy to be speaking to Michael Jackson. TMZ cut out that other part. They cut out the part when he asked her to sit on his lap because they know that it was wrong for him to ask her to sit on his lap. Allegedly. Pay attention.
Yeah, man. You gotta pay attention to the signs. You gotta pay attention to the signs. Seriously. It should be evident what's going on here. I don't think Hayden's death was no coincidence. And there's certain things that's going to continue leaking in Hollywood.
Realized that I was in danger, but by the time I'd realized I was in danger, I was quite literally out to sea. And it was that moment shook me and was shocking. And I was quite literally walked down, and I had been having a great time. There was no hints of anything like that happening. So it took me, I was shocked. It took me by surprise. And it was led by somebody that I had grown to trust.
And that's how it goes. And it'll be another woman that's leading these women. And we got to talk about that because that's actually a good pivot to what I also want to talk about when it comes to women playing the role of these human traffickers, being the actual predators in these situations. You know, the operation, of course, is ran by very powerful men, but these wicked women are the ones who are literally luring young ladies into this, man. Now that's what's happening. Now I want to pivot over because there is, matter of fact, I'm gonna have to afford myself this video real quick. I don't know if y'all heard of Woo Lady. I believe that's her name, Woo Lady. You know, she's pretty much a viral internet sensation out here in Atlanta. And this lady, she's in hot water right now. And I'm going to talk a little bit about her. I'm going to inform y'all a little bit about what's going on because you got to be safe out here. And I'm going to say this too. While I'm sending this source, I also want to say, y'all be careful with the eggs out there too while I'm at it, because it's like a huge recall on eggs right now. I'm getting a lot of notifications regarding this. So they're saying that people are dying eating eggs, man. You can't make this stuff up. But you just can't make it up. Yeah, I think her name is Woo Lady. Woo Lady. And she gives women advice. And apparently, yeah, she is a witch. I believe she's a witch. And I mean, just let me give you, I'm going to summarize a little bit about who this woman is, because, you know, when I'm introducing new people to the conversation, you know, I got to make it clear and evident who I'm talking about, because some of y'all don't know nothing about these people, but some of the Atlanta residents may know. She's pretty much, she gives dating advice. She came in her auspice of dating advice. You know, a lot of conversations that she share is about the entertainment world, you know, but from a social media standpoint. She built a significant online platform basically around relationships, tricking, and teaching women how to navigate relationships with men who have money. And she's not the first one to do this, but the way she's doing it is very eerie, right? Because now she's facing some serious allegations involving exploitation of younger women all across Miami. You know what I'm saying? And these women are coming with firsthand. I'm talking about these women are coming with firsthand like testimonies. And I'm not trying to convict this woman, Woo Lady, because I don't know what she got going on. But I just seeing how people be moving. I'm just going to share with y'all some of what I've researched in the situation, right? And I'll let you all be the judge, right? I'll let you all be the judge of what's going on based on eyewitness accounts and people who were involved. And we're just going to pivot over there for a second. All right, give me one moment. All right, did that actually... All right, I don't know why this went to a Facebook link, but let's... All right, here we go. All right, let me share this with y'all. All right. So this is this Woo Lady. Let's just talk a little bit about, because these are modern day madams, basically. And listen, I imagine being able to build. There's been a pivot on social media. There's been a pivot where women went from straight up dating advice, talking about how to get with men with money and how to exploit men with money, to straight up soft trafficking, y'all. I'm telling you, it's went from that to straight up soft trafficking. There ain't no other way to put it. Ain't no other way to put it. And that's where it's going in America. Imagine these women going from teaching how to jug and finesse a man and how to, it's going to straight up, listen, these women are literally teaching other women online how to just sell their souls and literally sell their souls. Some of these women are ending up missing. It's a whole lot of stuff, man. It's getting crazy out here. But anyway, let's play it.
Anything just by thinking. We have got to the point where literally anybody can build a fully working app without knowing how to code.
Like, what the hell is YouTube doing? How are we gonna go to one ad, let the video play 1 second, another ad? I gotta pay that YouTube premium. My bad, y'all. But let's get to it.
Stupid. Y'all are tricking on the tricks. Y'all are literally ready to be tricked. Y'all not getting tricked on, y'all ready to be tricked because y'all are so stupid.
That lady is on here telling y'all to sell y'all pussy for purses, and she's actively on live begging for money to pay her bills.
Taxes, insurance. I pay 2 car insurance. What the fuck y'all talking? My mama, that home bill. My daddy, a fucking bill. Shop rent.
I perceive her to be a scammer. The moment that I saw her and saw that she had a plus size BBL, I knew that she was a scammer. I knew that she had no regard for others or for herself.
Oh shit. My book showing y'all how to dress. The book show you how to wash your ass. The book show you how to cure BV. The book show you how to talk to a nigga. What you mean why they buying the book? Y'all just reading Hello Kitty.
And it is mind-boggling how these loud, aggressive, masculine women are getting these big ass platforms. And it's leading these women to, you know, basically fall into certain lifestyles. And like these women are ending up missing. And she got a huge platform. And it just shows me spiritually where people at when it comes to social media, right? Because how does these type of people get where they getting unless it's something totally evil behind it?
Business. Go get your own bag. That way you don't have to lay down and bust it wide open for these tricks. Because I promise you, ain't nothing, they're not going to do this for free. Eventually, something is going to come with it. Eventually. Whether that's your time, attention, texting, doing something strange. They're not just going to be out here buying you purses and cars and stuff and you not doing nothing. Or giving something, regardless of what that is. Because just like Shira 7, sprinkle. Yes, her man let her build her business and she stayed home and did it and raised her kids. But eventually her business blew up. So,
and see, I believe Sprinkle was one of the first people who kind of started that talking point. I'm sure she wasn't, but she's the first one that got big. But I'm going to say this, when women only put their value in what they can get out of a man, you are a prime target for trafficking. I'm telling you, when you start to look at everything transactional as a woman, you become a target. So we talk about this on a Hollywood level. Yes, this stuff goes on in Hollywood, but y'all, do you realize how dangerous social media can be too? Now we know that those people up there, they're doing it on a high level. When these women teach you that everything is transactional and that's what you got to look for, a man with money, you are a prime candidate to end up in somebody's basement. These women be madams, bro. They be online madams. You will be a prime target to be locked in somebody's damn wine cellar. You gotta be careful. Do y'all know how many, listen, do you know how many missing women that there has been? I mean, the numbers are absolutely astonishing. Astonishing. Matter of fact, I will be pulling up some of those analytics for y'all because I had them here in my notes, but it was some crazy numbers. And social media is helping this. But let's go.
now she is literally her own trick. She has made it to where she doesn't need nobody, regardless if she had James or not. I want to know your thoughts in the comment section on this.
Woo lady is a madam, and all of the men that she knows that she calls tricks, they're actually pimps. The game has not changed. The wording for who everybody is on the board has changed. So that trick off or whatever she had in the comments, that was to let you all know who had the money. So you all would go over there and think that they were just giving out money. Of course, the first time they're going to give you the money. It's free. It's whatever. But the second, third time, you're going to have to do something to get that money. Please stop falling for this shit. And she's right. It is a Miami thing because you all don't understand that the one bitch that know all the niggas, she's the one that lures in all the bitches so the niggas can do what they got to do with them. That's why she's a madam and she's a bottom bitch, actually. So please don't fall for it. But once again, some of you, I will fall for it.
Woo lady is not a madam. I don't know her, but that's not what she's giving off.
So, you know, there's an online debate on this woo lady. I just wanted to bring some type of, you know, clarity about this kind of stuff. This stuff is real. Like the lady said, The names change. They calling it tricks. You know, they calling it dates. But it's the same old trafficking game. I remember when Pimp C said pimping ain't dead, it just moved to the websites. You got people with huge platforms who are literally madams and pimps and all of that, and you can see this environment being created right before our eyes that's sprawling from social media. So I really wanted to point that out, man, because it's something that I happen to notice being in an Atlanta area, and this Woo lady, she just be popping up everywhere. I'm like, who is this? So it's not just a Hollywood thing, man. The rabbit hole goes deep. The rabbit hole goes deep. Let me see. Somebody says, Amy Brown says the evil begets more evil. Let's bury the dead. That's right. Let me see. Someone says low, mid, high levels out there. Yep. Let me see. Yes, indeed. I said Danielle Lasson says no disrespect, but some of them Haitians, they be heavy on that voodoo. That's true. That's true. Let's see here. Let's watch a couple more of these clips here, and we're gonna pivot back to Hollywood. But I had to point out this Woo lady. Yeah, she's internet pimping. And there was another one too that was, I believe, was a madam too. I can't think of her name right now, but she used to wear the fitted caps, and she had the same masculine aura with her. But I can't think of her name right now. Y'all know who she is. Somebody in the chat know who exactly who I'm talking about. She called herself the Queen Maker. That's what it was. The Queen Maker. Listen, ladies, you got to look out. These are your modern day Ghislaine Maxwells. These are your online madams. These are the ones that's allegedly luring underage girls to their demise. I'm talking about, she was telling on her video, she was telling women where to go, what to do, where to go, where to meet. Princella was her name. Priscilla. I'm talking about, you got to look out for them 36 jean wearing women, man. You got to look out for them women that just throw some True Religion jeans on and be screaming in their damn camera, man. And they giving off it's a certain energy they giving off. You better look out for them. That have you missing. And it's nothing more evil than a woman that would do that to another woman. That'll sit there and act like she's being a big sister, being an auntie figure, a mother figure, and really she trying to line you up. Really, she trying to have you in the back of somebody's damn pickup truck. Y'all better be careful in these streets. Keep your head on a swivel. Yeah. You keep your head on a swivel, man.
For that man to introduce you to other men, to spend on you and buy you things, all for your coochie. You gotta fuck them. Y'all know that? Do y'all care? Like, why are you trying to go to Miami with Woo Lady?
Yeah, Woo Lady. You go to Miami with Woo Lady if you want to. She's teaching you about tricks, and then she's offering you to come out Miami so she can show you around. Listen, bro, y'all got to stop going for this stuff. What you think happened to Hayden, what you think happened to a lot of these Hollywood stars and these industry stars, they're just doing it on a social media front now.
This is really some Ghislaine Maxwell shit. Did y'all even look at the Epstein files? Like, did y'all even take a peek? I'm wondering. She up 1,000 ebooks off y'all.
And I'm gonna tell you, they letting them get away with this now. Listen, when them files got cleared, look, the gateways of hell is open. The gateway of hell is open. They letting them do whatever. They letting these people get away with it. Listen, I'm telling you, let's go. And I want to point out something else. We're in the age of technology, and out here in Atlanta in particular, it's flock cameras everywhere, all over the damn United States. Let's go.
This shit too easy. She's packaging prostitution as an opportunity. And why the fuck is y'all opening it? I better not see y'all in Miami trying to find Woo Lady, because baby, we ain't gonna find you. You're gonna be gone somewhere in fucking Cuba. And of course, the trick's gonna gift her. They not gonna gift you like that. You not bringing as much fresh meat as her. That's what she doing. She bringing fresh meat into Miami. And here y'all go.
And look, we saying allegedly to all this, but hey, one-on-ones, no. We're gonna say allegedly to all of this, but one-on-ones, no. We know how to play the game, y'all. Allegedly, we're not trying to condemn Woo Lady, but listen, when you see her talking points and see how she's moving, you got to know setup artists when you see them, y'all. You got to know janky, creepy crawling, predatory individuals when they are talking. You got to know it. Let's go.
Bone steaks. Y'all don't give a fuck.
And this is my issue with Woo Lady. And I really only have an opinion on her because this ignorant bitch keep popping up on my For You page. But you have an old hoe that's trying to recruit young women into prostitution. And in my mind, I'm like, damn, at your big age of 27 fucking years old, you don't have nothing else better to do with your time? And this is how I knew.
Damn, she looked way older than 27. That Woo Lady, I thought she was about 37. Let's go.
That nobody was tricking on her fat ass. The second I seen her on the Shade live stream yesterday, and she was ordering a 40-piece fucking wing from Popeyes. Now tell me what kind of trick or man with money want a 40-piece wing eating, fat ass BBL getting, wig wearing, hood rat. Stop. That's masculine and ghetto. Come on, be for real. She's recruiting the young girls that these men actually want, and they're giving her a cut. Let's stop the bullshit. Nobody wants this bitch. She's using her cut to keep showing y'all all these bags and all these. Nobody's checking for no 27-year-old hoe. I told you, being a hoe does not age well. It don't. That's why the bitch looked like she about 40. I was surprised when they even said that this hoe was 27 because the bitch looked every bit of my age and I'm about to be 40. So, but you know, selling coochie, living a hard life, when you a loser, it usually shows.
Man, that's 100, y'all. And I know, like, listen, I know that in this life, right, there's a lot of temptation, right? And a lot of women want to be that it girl. They want to go to Miami. They want to wear certain clothes. They want to be introduced to those in the in crowd. Y'all wilding in the chat. A 40-piece from Popeyes is wild work. I ain't gonna lie, bro. A 40-piece of them soggy ass wings from Popeyes, bro, is crazy work. But I mean, but for the life of me, I'm not understanding how these people get such big platforms unless the devil is rewarding them. The devil got to be rewarding them. And look, you know, that's her wording. I don't like body shaming or anything like that. That's not my thing. So don't think I'm just saying that's wild work, though. That's just wild work on the digestive system in general. A 40-piece wing from Popeyes? Nah, that's crazy, son. That's diabolical, boy. That'll have your stomach in knots. I'm telling you, but this stuff is on social media too. Like, you just got to pay attention to the vultures that try to be in our communities. Somebody said a 40-piece and a salad. Yo, somebody said, I can't. Mike Davis says, I can't eat 40-piece and I'm 6'2". Man, I'm telling you, not even Wingstop. She making all that social media money and won't even hit Wingstop or something. She hitting Popeyes. Yeah, that's mad disrespectful to your stomach. Real talk. That'll send you over the top, man. Y'all wild, man.
You know, all in the way you look and the way you present yourself. So all of these young girls that keep following behind her, no, she not getting these dudes to trick on her because of who she is. And the fact that y'all actually sitting on her lives and she giving y'all fucking advice is insane. Don't show me if you tricking and you doing, first of all, if you tricking, why the fuck does she keep wearing that goddamn Gia outfit? Because if I see that one more time on one of these damn pages, I'm going to scream. But if you getting that much motherfucking money, show some goddamn assets.
Yeah, she, you know, and that's the thing. They can scam. They can scam, you know, these women are getting online saying they got all these tricks. I seen her talk about she got dudes they give her 20K, dudes that give her 10K. She says she got a phone just for guys, this woo lady. She says she got a phone just for guys, and that and that you know, she call a different guy for whatever she need. Of course, she got to be, you know, smashing all of these dudes, but she's trying to package and sell that. And for whatever reason, listen, for whatever reason, social media is rewarding it. They're rewarding her. And there's a lot of young ladies that are going to Miami, taking her advice. And there's a lot of testimonials. There's a lot of personal accounts to certain things that happened to them. And for legal reasons, I can't go into all that because that's kind of risky territory, just going off of what people are saying. But if I'm just looking at her from face value of what she's putting out on social media, I would say that she is a madam, a modern day Ghislaine Maxwell. It's just, you know, these women who act like they just like they good role models and trying to help your life. No, these people are miserable. Let me see. Yeah, the reason is to recruit. Yeah, that's what it looked like, recruiting. You know, I'm just trying to tell you ladies to watch out here, man. After I seen what happened to Hayden and seeing Beyonce in that compromising position, it just makes me want to bring awareness to this kind of stuff. You know, I got daughters myself. I got sons and daughters. And it's easy to get caught up in a certain lifestyle if you are materialistic, if you want a certain lifestyle, it's easy to just fall into that kind of stuff, right? And I don't want nobody to end up, you know, missing out here in these streets. Straight up.
It's so easy to become a podcaster with Riverside. First, go to Riverside and open an account. When you're ready.
Hair not done and all that. What's up, baby? Talk to me. Hey, so I already have a trick. He already pays my rent, paid my car off. We go on trips like to Hawaii and things like that. But I want more. Like, I want a house now, but I don't know how to like push into that. Okay, now I'm here to help you, and that's actually in my ebook. So, how much money estimate he spent on you? I have an unlimited credit card, and then he sends me like.
I really want y'all to get a clear view of what a lot of y'all daughters, what a lot of y'all granddaughters, y'all nieces, y'all sisters, y'all mothers.
They going to her like brothers used to go to Kevin Samuels, bro. They going to woo lady like, look, how could we get what we can get? Not understanding that there's a risk factor. There's a risk factor to that. A major risk factor. Let's go.
Are doing out here in these TikTok streets. Now, this young lady, apparently she's very popular, and she is pretty much using her platform to teach young women how to be prostitutes. That's just really what I'm gathering from this. It's such a time right now where our energy is the new currency, where we have a Jezebel spirit that is running rampant, particularly among young melanated women. I don't think it's going to get any better from this, because no nation rises higher than
legal reasons. I have to say that this is all alleged, but we've all been seeing Woo Lady go live on TikTok, and these guys are sending her these extreme gifts and all of that. Now, like I said, all this is alleged. This is my personal opinion. I do not believe that those guys are randoms. To me, it looks like she knows these guys and they're sending her gifts. And a lot of her followers or girls who are also looking for tricks, they're starting to go to those guys that are sending her gifts because
I agree. See, that's what I believe is happening. That's some good discernment right there from her. What may be happening is those who are part of the organization, the cabal, the group, you know, they're fluffing the numbers, making it seem like she got all this support coming in. And really, they're just primary investors in the organization. You see what I'm saying? Like, this stuff be right there in everybody's faces. It be in everybody's faces, man. And she got like a lot of followers on TikTok. But let's go.
They're just like, wow, if they're sending them to her, then what will they do for me? I'm way prettier. And this is how trafficking works. They'll use a female to bring in the other female, which is Woo Lady, and she has all of these guys with money. So of course, women are tuning into her to get to those guys with money. So once they identify the guys with money, i.e. the guys who have been sending gifts, the guys with the money, they're going to start recruiting the girls. And the girls are just like, well, I'm going to do what I can do. This is going to create another Tati Chanel, another Cassie. Now, the reason I say this is because I used to dance out in Miami. Now, a lot of the girls, they had their 16 come to the club and throw money on them. This would incite other people to throw money in them also. When you see that girl getting all the money thrown on her on stage, you want to know, how does she have that access? Who is she talking to? How can I get in on that? And I believe that's what Woo Lady is.
This is what Woo Lady is not telling. This is what Woo Lady is not telling y'all about Miami. These men are not giving you big money if you're not already getting big money. Please look up the real Miami It Girls. Look up Marcy. Look up Jackie. Look up Alicia. Look up me. I started having 100K months in Cookie Wash since like 2020. You think a boy gonna tell me about a Hermes slides? That is foolishness. Even the sandals with trend. Baby.
My thing is the material possessions worth it, man? It's crazy. That's crazy. It's a wild game that they playing. Somebody said Satan controls them, period, for sure. Somebody says, Kim C said, this is despicable, disgusting, and a disgrace. Right. Red Horseman says, plus, I've been summoned to the Freedmen courts. Okay, I'm not sure what you mean by that, bro. But yeah, this is some nasty work going on right here. And this looks like an alleged criminal enterprise, but you know, who are we to actually know that? The only thing we could do is use our discernment. And by law, we can't call it that because we just don't know. And you know, you don't nowadays these people be suing. So I'm being careful of what I say, but some don't feel right about what they got going on with this Woo Lady. And she just continues to grow. And I mean, tell you, they normalize this type of stuff. Babylon is becoming severely wicked, man.
That's baby stuff. Woo Lady is also a content creator. Y'all are calling her a pimp, but she's giving them the content they ask for. Her audience sees her around men getting money, and they want to know, how can I come to Miami and get a Chanel bag? Y'all think it's small. These men are touching real money. Tell them you want a restaurant. Tell them you want something that makes sense. Oh, no, it make no sense. And she's even telling y'all that. On social media, we all focus on the topics that's getting us the most views. Every time she talks about tricking, that gets her the most views, which gets her the most money. Why would she stop talking about it? Why are you acting like she's leading people astray? I damn want this. You can't understand that. I'm not saying anybody is perfect, but I'm just trying to say, I think we should stop villainizing Woo Lady.
And the reason she's saying this is because she's an alleged it girl, and that's already her life. You know what I'm saying? This woman, this tethered woman that's talking right now, this is already her life. So she's not going to see nothing wrong with what Woo Lady is doing. But there's a lot of impressionable minds out there. There's a lot of impressionable minds out there. And it's a huge risk factor in everything they got going on. But I just thought I would inform y'all about this Woo Lady person. Let's get one more person's opinion, and then we're gonna pivot back to Hollywood. Somebody said Woo Lady, she is built like a linebacker. You know what I'm saying? That's just an observation. No body shaming or nothing like that, but she got the disposition of a linebacker too. She looked, actually, I would call it, she's more built like an offensive lineman. And she hella aggressive, bro. She looked like she headbutt dudes in the middle of the damn alley in the middle of the morning. She looked like she bite people, bro. Like, and these are the type of people that's blowing up. A broad that looked like she sat up there and got rabies. She act like she got rabies, bro. I just don't get it. Coming with all the wrong energy. Let me see. Let's see what this young lady think about the Woo Lady situation. Let's go.
And try to get men to trick on you. There is no abundance of wealthy, generous, and kind men anywhere in the world.
Bring your agent into Monday.
Yo. Hold on, bro. Somebody said It looked like her weave been trafficked, man. Y'all crazy, man. I ain't lying. My chat is cooking, Woo Lady. Good gracious. My chat going in. Yo, y'all gotta stop, man. Man. But I mean, you can't lie. Woo Lady is built like Bam Bam Bigelow, bro. I ain't even lying, bro. Her Mark Henry built that. All right, man. Don't get us started, man. It's gonna get crazy in here, man. Don't get us started. We trying to be mature for the whole show. We like having a good time over here. But it just be the ones that's built like titans that's just mad aggressive with a lot of tension in their shoulders that like just snapping, bro. And that's who gets a big platform. That's who's giving relationship advice. That's one of the biggest relationship advice women on TikTok. It's crazy. Built like Mark Henry, the world's strongest TikToker. Crazy.
So while it sounds good that a man is going to finance your whole life and pay your bills and give you whatever you need, it's not realistic. There is no abundance of kind, wealthy, and generous men.
There is no abundance in kind, giving, generous men who are wealthy. That's a fact. Most wealthy men, I'm talking about men who making billions of dollars, are not kind and generous. And if they're going to do anything for you, it's going to come with a cost. Those people that are running Hollywood, these billionaires, these execs, if they're doing anything for you, it's going to come with your soul. And not only are they going to want you, but they're going to pass you around to all of their friends and peers and constituents. That's what trafficking is. They're going to have fun with you. Like listen, if they want a deal, like I got a beautiful woman for you, let's ink out this deal. And that's how it goes. They're not just giving you nothing for nothing. These people will trade you. They will have you in them underground damn tunnels. Once you open yourself up for that world, and once they got their clutches on you and you take their gifts, you are going to be traded amongst all of them. You may have some money in your pocket, but your soul is going to be gone. They're going to take your soul. I'm telling you.
In any one place on earth. No, they are not waiting on you to fly into their city in your best outfit so that they can save you. I need us as women to stop being so delusional and stop believing that you are in safe hands just because another woman is telling you what to do.
Trigger warning, I'm in women's...
Yeah, just because a woman is saying it, just because it's another woman don't mean she have a soul towards you. Doesn't mean she wants you to be safe. Doesn't mean she has your best interests at heart. It would be no trafficking if it wasn't for some of these women who were involved. Somebody said you're going to get passed around like those 40 pack of wings, man. Goodness gracious. Goodness gracious. That's how it goes, man. That is how it goes. Hold on one moment. Let me pull this up for y'all because we got more sources. Y'all make sure y'all get the likes up. They knocked a few people out. Just don't think we immature over here. Or we be body shaming or nothing. Like, it's not even like that, y'all. It's not like that. We try to remain respectful, but Woo Lady is not a good person. She's just not a good person, y'all. So we had to kind of go in, right? But this stuff goes on in the industry. And trafficking is not a joke in this country. It really ain't. It's getting dangerous out here. That sound is horrible. But look, you had a lot of people in Hollywood warn us of what goes on.
Most disturbing problems in our world today is human trafficking, and particularly the trafficking of children. Now, the first step in eradicating this crime is awareness.
I can do an autopsy. I can.
No.
I can. Yes, if I needed to, I could do the autopsy. I can remove all the organs. I can name them all.
Yeah.
But I can remove the lungs and the liver and the gallbladder and
How
the
do you
intestines.
get to learn all this?
Because it's part of the job.
It's the biggest organized crime family that I know of. For example,
now why would an actress know how to organ harvest? I mean, not organ harvest. Why would an actress know how to do an autopsy? She says she knows how to perform an autopsy because it's part of the job. What the hell is going on in the industry? What is going on in the industry? Now, listen, we were just talking about the Clintons and the lady who allegedly had some involvement with getting Hayden set up on that boat. Apparently donated large amounts of money to the Clinton administration. And a lot of people don't the Clinton, not administration, but they got a lot of different corporations and they got a lot of various nonprofits and things of that nature. But hear this about the Clintons, right?
Hillary Clinton took money from the Russians to sell American uranium to Russia. She took money from the Saudi Arabians to sell Syria and Yemen to Saudi Arabia and to justify ISIS and protect ISIS. Hillary Clinton is probably the single most corrupt politician in U.S. history since Lyndon Baines Johnson. And as Secretary of State, money would come into the Clinton Foundation and U.S. support would go out. And by the way, the reason we have 1,000 military bases is not for military power. They're lily pads for smuggling. That is how CIA smuggles gold, guns, drugs, cash, and small children for the elites in the United States. War is a profit center, not just for oil. War produces body parts. It produces orphans. It produces all kinds of human goods that can then be trafficked. And the banks rely on war and drugs for their cash flow.
Most disturbing problems in our world today.
Yeah, the Clinton Foundation has been under investigation for quite some time, man. And trafficking is a huge deal in this country. We have a lot of missing women and a lot of missing children all the time. All the time. And Cat Williams said it real well a couple years ago, what's going on in the industry.
Cat Williams wasn't wrong when he said,
you know what the #1 job of somebody that sold their soul in Hollywood is? What? Is to act like it didn't happen.
But I've had people throw millions of dollars in my face to do something I didn't want to do. And
look at that. Kevin Hart was like, hey, you don't say that. I believe that's what happened to Beyonce and every other actress, superstar, pop star. They had to do something that required their soul, required their body, required an immense amount of, I would say, man, it's a word that I'm searching for. They had to endure a lot of deplorable, reprehensible things. They had to really suffer in silence. One of these Hollywood stars said the biggest job in Hollywood when you selling your soul is to act like you never sold your soul. And this is why that's why a lot of them got to go to shock treatment. A lot of them got to go to certain places because they're trying to suppress what happened to them because it's so vile and disgusting what they had to do. And they just want to forget about it. They try to get their memory removed, brothers and sisters. They go through humiliation rituals to the point where it changes them. All to have All have good things, nice things. And the scripture says, yea, you are rich, but really ye are poor, blind, and naked. Imagine having all of the nice vehicles, nice clothes, nice cars, nice jewelry, but you always feel naked. Like nothing you do, nothing you put on, nowhere you go will ever feel like you are whole. You will always feel exposed to a degree. That's what happens, man, in these circles. And that I think that was Kelly Pearson. I think that's her name. She was an American Idol. And she said, look, she had millions of dollars thrown at her to do certain things. Because look, for them, money is nothing. Money is nothing. It means nothing to them. It's about control. It's about control.
What? Just, you've been off, yeah. Oh, they're in the room.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Yeah.
That was my way of cueing you. Like, it's open dialogue.
Yeah. You want me to keep talking about it?
By all means, we can talk about anything.
But don't do it.
Yeah, no, of course. Offer time.
It's a cabal. It's a consortium.
Cat Williams wasn't.
That's what it is. It's a consortium. Straight up. And I'm not saying, look, Cat Williams is part of the cabal. You know, don't get it twisted. Like, Cat Williams, he's part of the damn cabal. I'm not over here bigging up Cat Williams because he talked about Professor Ogilvy being in the mansion. But the hell, how you know Professor Ogilvy was there? Because your ass was in the mansion too. So don't get it twisted. I mean, he telling the truth, but you're part of it too. This stuff is getting dangerous out here.
So there's a video going viral right now of a girl who said she was almost forced to sell her soul in Hollywood. Let's check out her story.
So I was almost forced to sell my soul in Hollywood. Stick with me. Stick with me. So I moved to LA about a year ago, and I came across this opportunity on my Instagram, and they were like, yeah, like we help people, artists, actors, and everything get into the groove of stuff. Like, come, we can help develop you as an artist, all the good stuff, right? So I signed my happy tail self up, right? And I signed myself up, and I get to this building. I'm not going to disclose the name of the building because legal purposes. But I get to the building, and it's like this nice, like, church-looking, sanctuary-looking, mansion-looking, hotel-looking.
Now, many people are saying she's talking about the Shantu Marmont. Not too sure if she's or not, but this is what many people are saying in the comments she's talking about. So if you have happened to be in the same situation, she's talking about that
place. And I get there, and it's this old white man with a bald head, and he comes to meet me, and he's like, hi, welcome. You came for this event. Mind you, I'm thinking it's going to be like some type of music event. Tell me why, y'all, it's a cult. Tell me why it's a cult. Tell me why I almost joined the cult on accident. On accident, on purpose, on accident. Tell me why it's a cult. So I go there, and some of the stuff that they're teaching is kind of like, okay, I can get jiggy with it. That's okay. I don't know about that, but okay, this is kind of cool. So I'm thinking, I'm in LA. I need any opportunity, because as y'all know, I make music. I need any opportunity to get in them doors. So I keep going, and I end up getting like a mentor or whatever from there, y'all. Tell me why one day I go to this place. Can you hold on a second? Mommy's telling a story. Wait. I go into the place one day, and mind you, it's a lot of weird energy, and this lady who's, I don't really know what to say. I'm trying not to say too much. There's like this lady who's kind of like a handler for me, right? She's there, and
notice it's always a lady that's the handler. See, y'all got to understand, in order to get in those doors, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be a woman that introduces you to those doors. With Beyonce, everybody points to Beyonce's father, but I believe Beyonce's mother is the one who got her in front of certain people. That's just my thoughts. And you got to understand, Beyonce's family always been rich. As recently, Beyonce's dad came out and was like, look, we've already owned businesses, like storefronts, successful businesses before. So you got to understand, Beyonce more than likely just wanted to be an icon, wanted to be a part of that industry. And her mother, probably made it happen. You know what I mean? It's just all alleged. But that's all I'm saying. Yep. Danielle Lasson says, if I'm feeling weird energy somewhere, I'm out. That's what I'm saying. But they be really wanting the fame and success. So when she walked into the cult, to the cathedral, she knew what type of time it was. They be knowing what type of time and they on. Make no mistake about that. Let's go.
I'm sitting down, I'm having a meeting, I'm learning how I can grow in my career and how I can further and advance. And mind you, these are celebrities. These are known people. These are people in the industry. And she's like, okay, so yeah, you've been coming for a few months. Are you ready to have the meeting now? I said, no, I'm good. I don't want to have the meeting. She said, and she touches my shoulder like this and she's like, you're gonna have the meeting. I said, blank, I really don't want. She said, you're gonna have it. So they take me to this room.
So they telling her right now, the fact that you in here, the fact that you got an invite from this handler, it's time to listen. Now is your opportunity to sell your soul. Now it's your opportunity to come up in the industry. I don't know who this lady is or what type of gifts or talent she got. I'm gonna have to do my research on this, but I see that she has a lot of people who like the video, so she must be known. Like there's almost 9,000 likes on that video. So I'm guessing maybe she got her talent on display somewhere. But you can have a lot of talent and it's going to come with a price. It's going to always come with your soul required. And they're going to want to do some things to you. They're going to want to pass you around. And then listen, it's not just the women. Yo, it's not just the women who getting passed around. There's a lot of these guys that get in that industry and they get sodomized. You understand? And they're never the same. Now, don't get it twisted. Listen, think about all of the so-called child stars and how some of the rituals that's conducted. It's crazy.
And they bring the president. They bring the president of this corporation and of this company into the room with me. And he's like, yeah, so we've been, trying to get you to do this, this, and this for a while. We want you to take these classes. We want you to learn about this so you can actually advance. And I'm telling him, like, first of all, I don't have the money for this course. I'm not about to pay you for it. I have a kid. Second of all, this is not important to me, so I don't want to do it. And he's like forcing and trying to convince me. And I'm like, I feel like you're trying to force me to do this, which is also why I don't want to do it, because I feel like y'all are acting like y'all care, but if you actually cared, you wouldn't force me. Like, it's starting to feel like it's an ulterior motive as to why you want me to do this. He said, I am forcing you. I said, oh, okay. I said, well, I don't have the money. He said, I'll pay. He takes his wallet out and puts money on the table. He's like, you really need this. This is a really good opportunity. Most people who don't do this and do what we advise end up dead. And I said, how do they?
Damn. Told him straight up. No, you're going to do what we tell you to. Real nonchalant. Saying you're going to do this or you dead. That's it. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Most people, they don't make it out of here without doing what we tell them to do, because these people will gang stalk. That's what I'm saying, man. The pursuit of fame can be so dangerous. The pursuit of fame can be so dangerous. Somebody said in the chat, why does she keep going back? Well, I mean, she's talking about her first time going into this one building. So I don't think it was a situation where she was going back and forth with these people.
End up dead. He said, overdose.
That you would be overdosed. Now, peep this. This brings me back to the Hayden situation. They trying to say she died of an overdose. Now, this video right here is older than the Hayden death. This lady says that they told her, look, if you don't get down on the casting couch and do whatever, you're going to be dead of an overdose. You're going to be unalive soon of an overdose. That's how powerful these cabals are. I'm telling you. So she did say she went back a few times. Hey, that means she was flirting with the devil. She was trying to dance with the devil.
Mind y'all, it's like 11 o'clock at night at this point. I'm scared. Okay? I was terrified. I felt like if I said no to this man, they were going to follow me home and find a way to my house and follow me. And car accident, boom, y'all would never heard from me or saw from me again, right? So I say, okay, I'll sign up for a class. I signed up for a class. And I left and I never came back. This was such a weird experience for me. And mind y'all, this was in like October of last year. They still called me. Well, I think it stopped about last month, but they still called me months and months later from different numbers. It was to the point that the boy that I was dating, they would call him and say, hey, we want Naya here to do this. Can you force her to come? Like, can you make her come? And he'd be like, no, she don't want no parts. Y'all made her uncomfortable. And they'd be like, can you just force her? No. I don't know what they wanted with me so bad. But baby, the stuff that they be telling you about the industry is real. They're weirdos. So, I mean, I'm protected. I got God on my side. Ain't no weapon formed against me gonna prosper. And I have a lot of work to do, so, I'm protected and stuff. But this music stuff ain't no joke. This industry stuff ain't no joke. Allegedly.
Allegedly. Guys, we've been speaking about this for years. On years. And thank God many people's eyes have been open. Just conversations that we've had and other people have had. But yes, we can speak on all kind of different individuals who were in the industry and supposedly OD'd. Didn't Brittany Murphy and her husband both OD the same exact way? You got Mac Miller who OD'd. You got a lot of different people who they say OD'd. What was that one rock star's name from the group? I think it was Nirvana. Didn't he leave like a note or something like that too? Many people. And I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Isaac Cappy. This guy right here. I don't know if you ever heard of him. But if you have not, please go do your research. This is a man who started coming out about the secrets in Hollywood. About what they call children. About the different rings that was going on. He came out with different secrets, and he even said he was not an idol, right? He was not somebody to take his own life. Yet, how did he pass away? Supposedly taking his own life. I mean, it's right in front of you. At this point, they didn't even care if he came out and said that. Why do you think so many people who say stuff in Hollywood, they'll also go on record saying they're not somebody who would take their own life? And a lot of times Hollywood, the way that they will destroy you is making you look crazy or OD or you took your own life. These different ways, trying to turn the world against you, make you look a certain type of way. So be careful, guys. If that's the route you're taking, trying to get into these different industries, for one, I would advise you to be careful. And
I mean, that would explain why they always warn the people, hey, I'm not suicidal, because maybe they do get threatened. And I know they hate that word. They're not, man, they don't even let you say that word on social media. Goodness, I'm not promoting it. Jeez, it's just a word. It's an actual word. Damn, they be funny with these algorithms. But anyway, somebody's not wanting to harm themselves. They'll tell you publicly, I don't want to harm myself. And it could be because they're being threatened. There are probably buildings and places they can go where they're told, look, this is what's going to happen to you if you don't get right. That's some scary stuff, all for some fame. All to be known, right? Is that what it's all about? You'll find yourself compromised.
Okay, just so we're all on the same page for those of us that are awake while this story is still fresh, Hayden was absolutely in the club. You cannot get to these levels in Hollywood without being in the club.
Now let's make that clear. Hayden was in the club. You see her covering her mouth. She took the oath of silence. You see her with the eye of Horus in the back of her neck. You see her covering one eye. You see her holding up the pyramid. Hayden was in the industry. And I always got to do that because a lot of people like this young lady. A lot of people like Hayden. And it's sad what happened to her. She died at 36. But I said this early on that same thing this brother's saying. Listen, none of them be innocent. They be knowing the inner workings and they be involved too, man. They be worshiping Baphomet. That's why I said, like, once you're a part of the industry and your life is taken, it really ain't no coming back from that. As sad as the situation would be, and none of us want to see somebody taken out like that, but they be knowing what the hell is going on, bro. They be knowing what they sign up for. Yeah, Hayden little brother died as well. Yep, February 19, 2023. 3 years, 6 months, and 3 days apart. Wow. Yeah, they got numerology written all over it. Some are saying that she sacrificed her brother. I don't know if that's true or not. But I would not be surprised. That's how wicked the industry is. It's just a wicked place. But let's go.
Between her shushing to covering the eye to actually having a tattoo on the back of her neck of Ra, or the all-seeing eye, constantly throwing up the devil horns and sticking her tongue out. I've done videos about what that means in the occult. Here's why she was really taken out. In this big evil fraternity that they're all in, you cannot speak against it, especially when you've been in the inner circle like she was. It's no coincidence, ladies and gentlemen, that she spoke up about what had happened on these yacht parties, and then all of a sudden she passes away. That's how it works. If you speak up, if you tell the secrets, you will meet with an accident. It's just like any other gang or any other club. It's blood in and blood out, and nobody gets out alive. Okay, just so we're all...
Yeah, that's how it is. You can't expose the industry that made you and think that they're not going to come back. You can't expect there won't be consequences and repercussions. I'm telling you, that's why we got to nip that in the bud before people started to chase after that life. Geraldo, thank you for the support. He says, I saw a video of Joey Badass saying he and his group got took to the top of a high rise and saw them people throw capital steel over the ledge. Wow. I wouldn't doubt it. I would not doubt it. I would not doubt that some of the high ups give you an example of what's going to happen to you if you get out of line. Yeah, they make you take the oath for secrecy. But if that really happened, Joey Badass would, probably be in some type of trouble. He'd probably be in some type of trouble for even airing that out. For even airing it out. Peep this.
Wait, Hayden what really Panettiere has Hayden? Passed away at 36 years old. And I just find it interesting that just 3 months ago, she was exposing Hollywood in a major way.
It was. We seen that one.
I tell you, they will come for you. They will come for you. Okay? Because this one does not sit right with me. It doesn't, at all, bro. It's wild. She just had an interview a month ago, you guys. A month ago, talking about what she experienced as a young actor, okay? She was trying to expose the people in Hollywood and all this stuff that she was working on. She talked about that somebody took her to this one place, and, and then she went inside a room, and there was a really known guy that was butt-ass naked, And you know what happens, okay? Whatever. She was exposing. She was going to come out with more shit, okay? More shit. And then out of nowhere, bruh, they got her. They got her out of nowhere. Oh, she passed away. But that shit does not sit right with me, bro, because that shit, it is crazy. If you try to expose these people or talk, they will come after you. This is fucking sad, and this shit needs to stop. I tell you, they will come for you. They will come for you.
Yeah, man, that industry is foul. I don't want nobody to let these people take advantage of your talents like this. Don't let them do it to you. I'm telling you, because this world, the industry is ran by a lot of sadistic people, man. We talking about some bottom of the barrel, wicked, vile individuals. Somebody says, let me see. You best leave Hollywood alone and don't even bother with them. I feel you on that, fam. And then you're going, after all of the torment, torture, uncertainty, then you're going to go to hell. Who the hell wants to go through that? Who wants to be hellbound after being desecrated and violated?
Matrix update, and I had to do this update because of the energy harvesting that's come from this celebrity death of Hayden Panettiere. I know a lot of people in this world knew who this celebrity was, and that's yesterday a lot of things have come out. There's been so many conspiracies about what's happened to do with Hayden Panettiere, and if you followed me for a long time, you will know what I'm about to say. That, like I said, this is energy harvesting. We've just had a solar eclipse. This celebrity was one of the biggest shows that this celebrity was on was Heroes, which was all about them getting superpowers with the solar eclipse. Like, the symbolism, the connection, this is what gives it away. This is what I mean about everything is scripted in this world. Every character on the world stage is scripted into this world. And they know when a celebrity falls off the world stage, dies off the world stage, leaves the world stage, that is going to be a massive energy harvesting event. And like I said, we're in between eclipses right now. We just had a solar eclipse. We're heading into a lunar eclipse. The 2-week break, like what we're in right now, this little period of time, it's been very wavy energy. And of course, what better way to do a big energy harvesting event of killing off one of the biggest celebrities that we have known since we were young, because she was on the world, she's been on the world stage since she was a kid. So we've grown up with her in all these movies and all these sort of things. But like I said, the connection between Heroes, solar eclipse, she dies just after the solar eclipse. Like, there's so much symbolism, bro. We have to lose attachments to these celebrities because we always try to find a backup story of like why this celebrity died. Oh, they were about to expose this. They were trying to expose this. That only happens to about 1% of Hollywood and the celebrities that are in it that might be real and exposing the industry, and they actually die. But for the most part, they are part of it. They don't die. Like, these celebrities are an illusion. A lot of these celebrities are an illusion.
Mm-hmm.
They're not real. So you need to back up with the stories of saying, oh, they're about to expose this. You say it about everyone.
I'm telling you, I even believe that sometimes these people don't actually physically die. Hear me out, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes, not to go over everybody's head, but sometimes they kill off the character publicly. They'll kill off the character just to fit some type of numerology to sway public attention from one thing to the next. That's how deep the rabbit hole goes. Like, I don't know about this eclipse he's talking about, but I do know that around this time of the year, you know, going into September, August, September, November, all the way up to about Halloween, you should start seeing celebrities drop dead. And honestly, and hear me out, mark my words, in the next couple months, you're going to see 2 more known celebrities removed from the chessboard. That's how it is. And every year, people wonder how I can catch these patterns and spot it out. But they do the same thing every year because they're operating on numbers. Yep. Telling you.
Mac Miller, like, just all these celebrities. They were about to expose this. Oh, so that's why they died. No, it's because they are empty vessel celebrities that are used as puppets on the world stage for distraction and energy harvesting. And that is how they get you into a lower vibration. That is all that has happened. Matrix update, and I had to do this update because of the energy harvesting that's come from this.
Somebody says that's right. They want us to stop speaking on Nolan Wells. Well, it's not really too many updates on the Nolan Wells case, except for speaking of that, the DA is leaning towards it being a criminal situation. So, everybody who try to, protect Nolan's alleged friends, the DA, from what I'm hearing, there's an update where the DA is leaning towards there was criminal. There's criminal implications, but we got to see how that pans out. We got to see how that pans out. Lovely Lily says, watch out for Thanksgiving too. Yep, that's true. That's true. They have certain times out of the year rather, that just, it's a surge of celebrity deaths. It really is. And speaking of that Nolan Wells update, I think I might have that for y'all. Yep.
Y'all, this is hot off the press. And first of all, shout out to Queen Amadeus Shakur, because I was watching her show just a little bit earlier today, and she had said that there was an insider that indicated that the DA sees this as a crime. Now, this has not been confirmed, but two sources have said it, all right? So the DA is considering this as a potential crime. And then, right after I saw that, a couple of hours later, because she identifies herself as the queen of receipts. So right after that, then Secret Service Sam posted a video. So check it out.
I'm here with a Nolan Xavier Wells update, and little birdies are saying, it's not been completely verified, but that I'm hearing that somebody who has an inside source is saying the DA's office in Mississippi is now looking at the Nolan Wells case as a criminal investigation and no longer an accidental drowning. Now, we can only pray that this is true. Obviously, we can't celebrate. We can't get excited at all because I have not seen Ben Crump announce this. It is not being reported by any other major media sources, but there are rumblings. And so we have to take rumblings. We have to take any little bits we can take. Remember, no stone unturned. We must look in every single direction. We must continue to keep the pressure on because they want us to forget about Nolan. And little do they know that will never happen. His name will be said for generations to come. And I will.
So y'all, if this is actually happening, this is fantastic news. So let's stay tuned. All right.
Yeah, we'll find out. We hope that we get justice, for our brother Nolan Wells. And, there's been so many unsolved murders, lynchings taking place. And also, ladies and gentlemen, we got to stay on code, man. We got to stay on code. I think I might have seen Brother Waves in here earlier. I'm not sure. I couldn't really tell if that was his profile, but we just got to be on code in general with following the word, man, following the word and doing what it is we supposed to do to be in alignment. Because I'm telling you, man, the insurrection spirit is rising up in our people, and it's not going to be what they think it is. It's not going to be us acting like, like our ancestors did. We're going to move a little bit different. We're going to move a little different. Our ancestors did their thing. But I think the Most High is putting a new type of spirit in us, intellectually, and just the way we're navigating now. It's a tumultuous terrain, and we got to adapt in a way where our intelligence gets us where we need to get. I'm telling you. Yep. Nah, hey, listen, we got to follow the word. We got to know how to forgive. We got to know how to repent. We got to all of these type of things, Let me see. Somebody says justice for Nolan Wells. Yeah, we want justice for our people. Because it's going to get wild if there's no justice. If there's no justice, it's going to start getting crazy. I'm telling you. Somebody said it. That door is about to close. I'm telling you. People think this stuff is a game. Like, these situations that's going on with our young men and young women being lynched. No, this stuff is not a game. Like, this is a real race war going on, and people think this is entertainment when it's not. You know? Yeah, and when I say we're gonna move different than our ancestors, our insurrection spirit is gonna be more like more cerebral. That's the word I'm gonna use. It's not gonna be quite like a Nat Turner uprising. It's not gonna be quite like a, you know, a Toussaint Louverture slave rebellion type of situation. It's gonna be more like, damn, are these people geniuses? They truly are neurodivergent. How are they operating that way? How are they so intelligent? How are they playing? How could the government have all these resources? Let's not say the government. How could the so-called powers that be have all these resources, finances, money towards propaganda, but somehow, some way, we're playing 3D chess with them? We're playing 5D chess with them. They ain't gonna be able to figure it out. Just like the scripture says, the Most High would do a new thing. The Most High is going to really, he's given us a lot of insight. Yep. Somebody said, if you lack wisdom, ask the Most High. He says he'll give you that. The Most High will give you that freely. You just got to really want it. Somebody says, blessings new, and everyone else in the chat. I'm convinced Nolan Wells was sacrificed too. We all need to stay focused, pay attention, no matter who we're with, and we must stay prayed up. Absolutely. Agreed. Yeah, we're definitely in the end times, man. And you got to have situational awareness. You got to look at who you can trust, who you can't trust. Like, it's people getting trafficked left and right. It's people ending up missing. It's a whole lot of things going down. So pray for that discernment. Absolutely. Pray for that discernment. And, I just want to say thank y'all for viewing. It's always an honor and a blessing building with y'all. Of course, we got more material coming. You know what I mean? Every day we doing these midday motivational talks. I know y'all like that spiritual voltage you signed up for. This is the home of Truth Maxon, and it wouldn't be what it is if it wasn't for you all the good people. So I want to thank y'all. I know this one was a heavy topic. This was kind of heavy on the conscience. Anytime you dealing with people being hurt, innocent blood being shed, or people just being missing or mysteriously, being unalived, it's always one of those heavy subjects. But I'm glad that y'all have the resolve to stick it out through those topics, because, hey, you should know the truth, and the truth will set you free. So shout out to y'all. The truth intelligence community is in full swing. All right. One love to y'all. Y'all be blessed. Have a good night. Shalom.